Hey guys, I've been carrying in a Mission First tactical holster for about the past month now, and I wanted to talk to you about it. Oh, there's their owner's guide. This particular holster is their Guardian holster. It is designed for a Glock 19 with the TLR-7 on it. Something that looks a little bit like that, I suppose. There are some interesting features. One, I've got the regular belt clip on it, but it comes with other clips as well if you want to spread it out and have it tuckable. Notably those there. You're probably saying, hey Jay, all these are plastic clips and I don't love plastic clips. Well, two things. One, I've actually been carrying with the plastic clip, including a little bit of kind of retention stuff. It hangs on pretty good. And I get it, you know, you probably are like, I'm still kind of leery about plastic, and I got you. If you're feeling that way, the hole spacing on here will accommodate metal clips as well. And I have it from a good source that come 2025, either metal clips are going to come with it or it's going to be an option. So it's not really like, by the time you're watching this, it's probably not going to be a big deal. But some interesting features about the holster, clips aside, there's a post in there. I don't know if you can see that, but that post is basically to retain the gun evenly. Even if you decide to holster it without a light on it, it completely works that way. And also there's I think it's an 11-pound neodymium magnet in the very end. And so when it clicks in, guys, man, it freaking clicks in. I mean, it ain't coming out. You know, you can still get a good draw. You know, it's not a problem, but it sits very nicely in the holster, as you can see. And, you know, there's no issues. The added bulk is, you know, if you don't want to carry a light on a holster or a light concealed, I get that. And, you know, opinions are mixed about carrying a light when you're not in some sort of duty capacity or home defense capacity. Get that too. I've gone back and forth on the subject. Sometimes I carry without a light when I'm not at work, and sometimes I carry with a light when I'm not at work. I think if you're willing to put up with the additional size, weight, and cost, I don't know there's a real downside other than those things. You know, if you never use it, it doesn't hurt anything, and if you need it, it's there. I digress. So the holster, reasonably comfortable for the size, and like I said, I've been carrying with it for about a month. What's really good is these edges are kind of nice and rounded, so the dig factor is not as bad when it is in your waistband. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about, but like seated, going on trips and stuff, hasn't been a big deal for me, guys. I've actually very much enjoyed carrying with this gun. And this holster setup. And they offer several other holsters. This is just the one that they specifically set up for the 19 and the light. And I'm sure this is probably going to give the people in the company a little bit of consternation, but I also use this holster with a different light and a comp on the gun. When I did that, it only kind of sat about that deep. So the trigger was still covered, but if you're one of those nervous Nellies where you're like, oh, that's dangerous right there, totally understand. And I was using it in a capacity that was kind of outside of the scope of their design. So don't quote me on that. Don't do what I do. Just understand that I did it and there was no real harm or foul. And it still locked in nicely owing to that little magnet on the end, guys. It really, that's a kind of a game changer. I'm surprised more companies don't do that. You know, Safariland has done the post thing on the inside of a lot of their duty holsters, and that made sense from a retention standpoint and keeping the gun in place. But as far as I know, Mission First Tactical, kind of the first company to ever do that with a off-duty or concealed carry style holster. The wing, if you want to use it, you can. It is obviously removable, so if you don't feel the need to have the wing on the inside of the waistband, but it kind of pushes the grip of the gun nicely up against your body. So I like it from that perspective. And like I said, if you want different carry, you can carry them at different depths as well, so that if you want it to sit up higher, you can do that. If you want it to sit lower, you can do that. So there's a lot of options when it comes to this. I will tell you guys that if you're swapping out screws, make sure you got a set of needle nose pliers handy, because any loose screws, they will very quickly, if you don't immediately hang on to them, get sucked in by that magnet. Now you can just grab some pliers and pull them out. Like, it's not so strong that you're going to have a tug of war with a magnet, But just be aware that you've kind of got your built-in screw retention device whenever you decide to swap out anything on this holster. But in general, guys, I like the holster. And like I said, I'll show you what I'm talking about when it comes to seated, standing. I'll give you some views of that. And like I said, it was good for carry. You know, really no qualms when it comes to that. One last thing I should mention, by the way, Mission First Tactical is an American company. They're out of Pennsylvania. So right here on the East Coast with me, East Coast kids represent. So if you need any service or support from them, you're going to get somebody who is an American who understands your concerns in this country. You know, if you're in a foreign country and you're looking for a holster, still good holsters, but it's always nice to know that I'm dealing with somebody who understands my concerns, you know, kind of along the same lines. And those guys have been super cool every time I have dealt with them. So, you know, just a side note, I do like American companies. A friend of mine actually met them at SHOT Show, I want to say coming up on close to a year ago, and he really liked them, and he's the one who kind of turned me on to them. But anyways, enough of that. Like I said, I'll show you what I'm talking about when it comes to actually having this inside your waistband and what that looks like. All right, so this is my spring and summer concealed carry outfit. I know it's super nondescript, but you're talking jeans, polo shirt, nothing sexy. I don't know if you can see the gun. I don't have the greatest of lighting going on right here. There it is. I should probably put some more backlighting on it, but nevertheless, guys, this is more about not so much visibility as comfort test. I'm gonna sit down on the couch, show you what I'm talking about. Like the non-poke factor with this is actually really surprising. I didn't have to do the thing that I've done with other holsters where I stuff a Scholl's heel pad on the back with Velcro, which you could do with any holster if it pokes you, but nevertheless, I mean, check this out, guys. Like, it's super comfortable for sitting, you know, leaning forward, tying your shoes, you know, none of that really matters, guys. And it's for long drives, it's been really good. And even with the plastic clips, it has retained very nicely. Now, like I said, if you want to swap out metal clips, or if you wait, like I said, you know, some point in January, you're going to be able to just get them with the holster. But seriously, guys, like it's really comfortable and it stays very nicely. It is easy to get your draw. Like, it's very quick. I'll show you when I give you a quick final thoughts. But man, overall, guys, the comfort factor, the concealability factor, I don't wear super baggy. I don't know if you can see it, you know, it's there a little bit, but, and I always, you know, the magwell on here does not help me when it comes to concealability, but that wing really kind of helps push it in to my stomach a little bit. Final thoughts in a second. All right, guys, just some final thoughts. I switched to a white t-shirt so you could kind of see what was going on with this holster a little bit better. I just wanted to show you what I was talking about. It sits very nicely, it draws very nicely, it retains very nicely, it's super configurable. If you don't want to carry it with a light in your pants, I think for lack of a better term, Mission First Tactical makes other IWB holsters that don't accommodate lights. So if this is too bulky, you got options. But if you are somebody that wants to carry a light on a Glock 19, this is probably one of your better bets. And it draws very nicely, as you can see. Like it doesn't get in the way. It sits well. It doesn't move around, which is obviously some things that you need from a holster. And the retention, like, it just clicks in very nicely and doesn't want to just easily pop out. So if you do any, God forbid, any mildly acrobatic stuff, or you end up having to roll around or fall down, you got pretty good odds that this holster is going to hang onto that gun, which is pretty important, obviously. I like it. You know, the price range is commensurate with other holsters in the same quality, value, and what you get, you know, but you're dealing with American company, so there's really more value built in than you think. And the ability to accommodate the metal clips or get metal clips with it, I can't say enough good things about that. Like, these are people who listen to their customers and they understand the customer's concerns. When I was talking to one of their guys, he was like, yeah, we really understand this and we're trying to make this thing palatable in terms of price versus what you get, but you definitely have options. So overall, guys, I'm going to keep carrying with this holster. I think it may actually end up replacing the last holster that I was running, which I was running for a couple of years, had no complaints, but I've been on this holster now for probably 30, 40 days at this point, consistently, anytime I haven't been at work, and it's giving me no problems. It sits nicely. I don't know if you can tell, obviously black is slimming, but it's pretty easy to conceal, and it doesn't stick out, and it doesn't, you know, if I bend over to tie my shoes or whatever, it doesn't start poking me and creating hot spots. So super comfortable, and I like it. Anyway, I will not belabor this further. It's a pretty darn good holster. You guys take care, stay safe. As always, if you like content along these lines, a subscription will get you more of it, and that notification bell. Also, if you think everything that I've done is complete and utter crap and you hated it, let me know in the comments, guys, especially if you think my amazingly slow and awful draw, like I know you guys probably think I suck when it comes to that. I had at least one comment on a previous video. Somebody's like, well, you know, you can't zero a gun because you stink in it. It's true. Worst shooter there is. But guys, like I said, appreciate your time. I'll talk to you soon.
Get him, Jay.